To tonight's guest, veteran Middle East correspondent and author Robert Fisk. Following the release by WikiLeaks of nearly 400,000 classified US military documents, Mr. Fisk wrote an angry piece headlined "The Shaming of America" in his newspaper, The Independent. He claimed the Pentagon's anger over the leaks was not because their secrecy had been breached, but because they'd been caught out telling lies. And he joined us just a short time ago from Beirut. Robert Fisk, thanks for being there.
You're welcome.
Now, what's the significance of the close to 400,000 secret US military documents that have been posted by WikiLeaks as far as you're concerned?
Well, I think there are several very important elements to this story. First of all, the individual items, like, you know, there were witnesses, American witnesses to torture. They didn't do anything, that the Iraqis, or security authorities were torturing Iraqis, that American airstrikes were killing many civilians. We knew about this, but it was always denied by the Americans. I was doing stories years ago about Iraqis torturing Iraqis, and the stories were coming from American officers who were leaking them to me. But of course, every time I wrote them in the paper, the Americans denied that it was true. I went to the scenes of US airstrikes. There were obviously, you know, limbs, hands, arms of children, babies, women, civilians, as well sometimes as armed men, and we wrote about this. What the WikiLeaks does is it proves beyond any doubt that what we reported was correct, and that what we were told by the American authorities was mendacious. It was a lie. Just remember, the Americans now are saying, shame upon WikiLeaks, it's endangering lives in Iraq. I mean, invading Iraq endangered an awful lot of lives, didn't it? But, you know, if these leaks, if these 400,000 documents had confirmed that the Americans did stop torture, that they didn't kill civilians in airstrikes, you know, US generals would be handing this stuff out free of charge to journalists on the front steps of the Pentagon. It's the fact that it proves how shameful our invasion and occupation of Iraq was, that this has come as such a blow to the United States, and only, I might add, to the West. You know, the reaction in the Arab world, when they looked through all this stuff in the Arabic language press, particularly in Baghdad, was, well, so what's new? We knew all this. We were the people being tortured. We were the people being bombed by the Americans. It's in the West that we're saying, my goodness, is that the case? So the generals lied. That's the big significance at this particular point of this. One bigger significance, I think, and it was Al Jazeera who actually picked this up, was that this famous 242 message, which tells US troops from higher headquarters, presumably Ricardo Sanchez when he was the general in Baghdad, which says, if you see abuse taking place, not by Americans, report it, but basically just do nothing.